Hello there and welcome to another exciting edition of Sister Sister on Citi TV and of course 97.3 Citi FM, the best English radio station in Ghana. Absolutely. My name is Jessica. Thanks for joining us once again. For the next 60 minutes we're going to be talking about relationships. People have sent us questions about things that are going on in their relationship that they need opinions on, and my sisters and I promised to share our candid opinions on these questions. So right after this, we'll come back and introduce the sisters, plus I'll tell you how you can get interactive. And welcome back, Sister Sister, on Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM. So, ways to get through to us. Very simple. You can send either a WhatsApp message to 054-998-6996 or send an email to jessica@citifmonline.com. Or if you love us and would like to hear from us every single time, then you can always follow our Facebook page. Sometimes we put out some of the questions on there and we get to hear your thoughts about it as well. Plus, Christmas is approaching, so you never know. Let's say hello to my sisters. Today on the show, I've got the usual suspects, Tina, Olivia, and Rosina. Ladies,
Hi.
good to see
you. Good to see you.
What's up with Rosina?
I didn't get the trousers memo.
So everybody's wearing trousers today. And you're wearing
sad.
your salt. Yeah, you'll be fine, okay?
Okay.
I'll give you a Christmas present
Okay.
as Christmas is coming there.
All of us.
No.
Already the
Only
one
Rosina.
present. We are waiting for our own now.
Okay, don't worry, you also can. Mr. Leguson said I should pass on a message, so I will.
Hey, he did.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, Mr. Paris also says I should tell you something. So
And what
after
did
the
Mr.
show,
Shifi say?
he said he didn't say anything. I'll create a message for you, okay, on his behalf.
Do you know that I've this is my first Christmas that I'm gonna have like my whole family around me, and I'm going to love it. So I love this song. I want everybody to know. Mary, did you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You sang it for me to hear.
Oh, really? You hadn't heard that song before?
No. And then
So suddenly you like Christmas carols?
Yes.
Yeah, breaking news.
I went on YouTube and I went to listen to
Which version did you listen to? Pentatonics?
Yeah.
My favorite. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
If you so. Charlie, we're getting somewhere. Alfie is working hard.
Yeah.
The Paris Afros are working hard.
I'm impressed.
Anyway, ladies, we'll go right into action. First message says, I've been married to my wife for close to 4 years. We don't have a child yet, but I have 2 from my previous marriage. She's 36 years, lives in Ho because of work, so I've been visiting her. Sometimes I even stay for months. I do the cooking, and I even do it better than her. I do washing, including her clothes, her underwear. I clean the rooms and the kitchen as well. Often, she can deny me sex for 2 weeks or more, and when I complain, she'll rain insults on me. Last week, she came home back from work at about 10:50 p.m., which is very unusual because she closes at 5. She's a journalist. She went straight to the bathroom, and then around 10 minutes past 11, her phone rang. I answered, and the male voice was on asking, "Wadana?" When I said, "Hello?" the guy on the other end went silent and eventually cut the call. I called back several times, even with a different line, but he didn't answer. My wife came and I asked her who the man was, and she replied, and lied about it that it could be her boss. I got so angry, I slapped her. She created a scene, and people in the house came to separate us. She reported me to the police the next day, and they called me and so on. I later checked the number on Truecaller and found the name, and I realized he's a policeman. I love her, but I want to end the marriage because I'm hurting. Sisters, please advise. Yeah.
This thing hurts me so much when you're doing so well and then you hit the woman.
Yeah.
So clearly she's cheating, okay?
With a policeman.
Wait.
Probably the policeman that called.
That caught them.
I called him. Can you imagine?
So whoever she's cheating with, she's cheating, and she's blatantly doing it because she's even, you know, insulting you or saying things that, like, listen, you can't even ask me questions. She's doing it in your face, and when that happens, then it means that she's ready, or she has an exit strategy, or she's ready to leave, or whatever. I don't think that you need to be provoked to the point where you need to hit her. As for that one, you didn't try. So on all levels, you are wrong at that point. You need to apologize to her for that. You don't need to stand your ground and say that, after all, she pushed you to the wall, she made you this, whatever it is, on that score. So apologize. Even if you need to do a statement to make sure that you are remorseful and whatever, show it. And then you can take your plan of your exit or whatever you've decided. I mean, if you can't take it, you can't take it. You don't have kids together. And this is what is happening. And she's not even remorseful. She's not. So yeah, if you want to go, why not? But please apologize before you leave, so that dent that you've created, even though you cannot like restore it fully, maybe halfway you can. So yeah, that's what I think.
Marriage is not a bed of roses. It can be depending on how you lay it, and it's two-way. We could all decide and sit here and say, oh, we used to be in love with our partners when we were dating and everything was rosy and everything was amazing. And then 10 years after a while, you decide, because of pressure, because of kids, because of 1,000,001 things, you're no longer in love. And I mean, that's it. But if there was a reason, if there was something that brought both of you together, I don't see why both of you can't hold on to it to take you further into the relationship. There's always ups and downs, but it's work. You know, if you love the person enough, what do? You work at it. You work on staying in love. You work at dating. You work at you go back to you go back to the basics. What brought you guys together? I don't believe in giving up. And for me, I'm just putting this out there, especially for people who are listening. I'm very disappointed in what the woman did. This is a man who, I don't know whether he works. I don't know what he's doing to try to make it up to you. He's cleaning, he's cooking, he's trying to do the 1,000,001 things that automatically in our world or in our environment or in our culture, the woman should be doing. But he's doing it because he's trying to let you know that he's there for you. But you take all of his love, his kindness, his support for granted and think, say, he's not good enough. And then you go out and then you cheat on him. Not every man is different. Everybody shows their love differently. The fact that you have a man who is always home, a man who supports you, who does stuff for you, doesn't mean that he's stupid. Sometimes we as women, we're quick to take men for granted in some regard. And if you're out there and you find a man who is doing that for you, I think what you could do in return is to support him or show him love in return by being faithful, loving him for who he is. Because you can't convince me that, I mean, overnight you just decided to be with him. Yes, it's a possibility, but you used to be in love with him till now. So what was so wrong that you decided that he was not good enough? And even in your marriage, you decided to cheat on him. So for that, I don't comment the woman. And I can understand how the man feels, and I can understand why he was provoked, because believe it or not, the woman was looking for this opportunity, and the fact that you hit her gave her. She knew she was guilty all along. Yeah. She knew she was on the other. You can't convince me, say, when she was cheating on you, it didn't cross her mind once that my man is a good man, no. But when hints, she's trying to provoke you, and once he hit her, you gave her the opportunity. That was why all the concept that she was doing to create a scene was to have approval from other people and to give her the exit she needed to just jump out of the marriage or the relationship. If she wants to go, please. Ideally, I would ask that you fight for it, but what are you fighting for?
He wants to go.
He wants to go. By all means, I would say if you want to go, because at the end of the day, what are you really fighting for? She's broken your heart. She didn't love the marriage enough to be faithful. She doesn't care. And for me, once a woman goes past everything, she's disrespectful towards you, she's cheating on you, there's nothing to fight for. It's hard, but really, I mean, go. You have no choice but to go, because what are you fighting for? Luckily, you don't have kids, so most of the time when people are in marriages of this sort, you tend to find the women staying because of the kids, or even in rare cases, you tend to find the men staying because they want their kids to grow up thinking that, oh, the environment is conducive enough to have the whole family setting. But you're not getting that. So it's sad. I hate divorce. I really hate it with a passion. But in this case, I don't know. I think you'd have to exit.
Yeah. Rosina.
The man has 2 kids from a previous marriage or relationship before entering this marriage. So, and then they've been married for 4 years and there's been no issue. And my problem is that, okay, so on the first call, the man, usually in situations like this, is the women who are rather in a certain space. Because the man has got his 2 children. So the issue about 4 years not having kids, nobody really puts it on the man. Everything is put on the woman. But this man, in spite of that, is still treating you like a queen. You understand? Doing stuff in the house, going above and beyond, doing things that I'm sure most of our men don't do on a regular in our homes. You understand? So at the end of the day, he's breaking his back just to make sure that you are happy and you are comfortable. Now, mistakes happen. I mean, we are all not perfect. So yes, she went to cheat. Now, when you were out late, which is very unusual, everybody, so far as you are living with somebody, be it your parents, even your very good friend, if you're going to be out late beyond a certain time, you have to call and let the people in the house know that, because of A, B, C, D, E, I'm going to stay out late. Okay, benefits of the doubt. Phones weren't working, nothing was happening, so you couldn't communicate with your home. Okay, no problem. You've come home, then straight into the shower. You see, some of these things, they give clues unnecessarily. You see, so you've come home very, very late. No, straight into the shower to go and bath, to go and wash off any evidence of wrongdoing if you indeed did some wrongdoing.
Yeah.
And it speaks clearly. And I'm sure that is why when your phone rang at that time, 11
felt
p.m. He felt the need to pick up to see who it was. And lo and behold, it was another guy.
Yeah.
No problem.
Hi.
No problem. No problem. Another guy has called, you are suspecting. Now, in whichever way your husband would ask you, where have you been? No woman has the right to open their mouth and say,
Hey.
You see, that statement, for me, even if the roles were reversed, no man has a right to tell the wife, maybe some kwasi asem no. You understand?
Blatantly
now
rude.
that for me, that is where I will not be able to control not control myself. Like I'll not be able to side with the woman in any way. It means that she has checked out of the marriage. She is cheating on you without any shame, no apologies. Like she doesn't care how you feel about it. If she has to come home at 10:30, she's fine. She has come. Look, if let's say by mistake you overslept and you woke up and it was late, maybe that particular night, if you have any respect for your husband, you pretend to be nice. You pretend to be nice. But if at that time, and the thing is that you see the other man too that he's cheating on you with, you know that your wife is going home to go and meet the husband. Why call at that time and say, what Dana?
But did he know? That's another question.
No, but the thing is that he's left you. Cheating on you. I mean, cheating on the husband with you. She's married, so you can't say you didn't know. Now, the woman has left you and is going somewhere. The reason why the woman has left you at that time,
She has somewhere else.
she has to be home.
Yeah.
A place where her clothes are, a place where she has told 1,000,001 people and God that this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. So that's where she's going. Then you two, you have the potu because you think you're a law officer to call at that time.
No, but you see, I think he has potu to call because it's been happening in the past that he can call late in the night.
She probably didn't even tell him that her husband's around.
Yes, me too. That's the point I'm driving. I'm not saying that the guy, no, I'm saying if he has potu to call, that means that the wife
has given him
a lot of room, disrespecting you blatantly. Because you see, if you had any little respect for your husband, but you were just cheating because maybe you were so frustrated, you feel that maybe your man and your system cannot gel to have babies, and you just want to do something. What you do is you do it all, but
not shamelessly,
as shamelessly as you are doing it.
Yeah.
So my thing is that this is no marriage. This is not something that you should work for. This is not something that you should kill yourself over. This is not something you should have sleepless nights over. Now, like everybody said, the slap was where everything went wrong for you. And unfortunately, you see, when the slap came, she went and reported it to the police. So now she has evidence. She can even say that you have been slapping her, even though it probably just happened once. So what it means is that when it comes to the divorce, if it comes to property and stuff like that, she can also make certain cases and say you've been abusive, and that is what pushed her to da-da-da-da-da and all of that. But by all means, go through the process and leave this woman. I don't think this woman is good for you physically, mentally, emotionally. She's not good for you. And the woman doesn't respect you at all. They have one that comes in the heat of an argument. Maybe, but this one, asking your wife where she's been,
was unmerited.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So I think this is no marriage that she should break his back trying to work on, communicate or anything or staying. The woman is checked out long ago.
True.
And the woman has not only checked out, but she actually disrespects him. And she actually doesn't value him. You understand? Yeah. Okay. And I'm sure it was the same boy who organized for him to be picked up to the police station.
Oh, you'll be surprised, eh?
Yeah.
It's easy for him.
The policeman maybe
she even called him.
maybe she didn't go to the maybe he was not reported to the exact police station of that particular policeman.
Of course not.
But the policeman will call the colleague or something in another station and say, Charlie, they are bringing this guy in. Deal with him or something. Maybe it's this same one who went and told him that the before they even left you. So at the end of the day, you don't want to be playing games with people like this. But, so just leave.
Yeah.
But for the guy, no, just chill. It's hard, but kawakumatoyem. What can you do? I mean, it's sad, but
leave.
Yeah.
You see, psychologically, because the man has been in one marriage before, had 2 children, it probably didn't work. You see, when you enter into a different marriage, normally that's why people who go into second marriages, the partner.
Yeah.
To make it work.
Because they can't afford to have another failed one. Because if you've been married before and you come and have a second one and it's also failed,
it's a dent on your character.
Irrespective of what the woman brought in, everybody would assume, say, so sometimes psychologically, and that's why he was doing all of these things without complaining. Because he's been there. So you realize that most second marriages tolerate more quote-unquote nonsense than they did in their first marriage. Part of it is maturity. Another part is because they don't want another failed thing on their cup.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what he's thinking about. That's why he's probably having a hard time leaving, because once he leaves, it means that, hey, he's left 2 marriages. Now if you go and meet another girl, now you're going to tell the girl that I've been married twice at an age of like 40, 45.
My guy, I would rather people say you've been married twice than live in a relationship.
And because
like
she has 2 children, don't be married again.
I think, like my sisters have said, yes, by all means, leave. With your sanity intact, because now she's provoking you to a point where you have to be physically abusive, and that can't be a healthy relationship to be in. My 2 cents. It's Sister on Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM. We'll go for a commercial break. When we return, a lot more of your messages. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Sister Sister on Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM. Remember, WhatsApp number 054 998 6996. Let's know what's on your mind. A message here says, I need your advice on this issue. We've been married for 10 years. My marriage has been extremely stressful, but I stayed simply because my husband had issues and I didn't want it to seem I left because he was sick. So over 6 years, we haven't been intimate. And it's predominantly because he doesn't get a hard-on when he's with me, but seems to function fine when with others. I'd given up on sex when I met this new guy who was awesome, but in retrospect, I was using him because I lacked intimacy in my own marriage. This guy fell in love and wants me to divorce my husband. I enjoy intimacy with him, but I'm not in love with him. I want us to continue our affair, but he's threatened to come and speak with my family if I don't agree to divorce my husband. Now I'm not ready to leave my husband, and I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings too. What should I do?
You can't eat your cake and have it. But how does she know that her husband gets a hard on with others?
Others. That's
She
a
knows.
good question.
Let's just assume she actually does. I don't know, but she's,
Or maybe she's caught her husband cheating on her several times with other people, has seen messages, evidence to show that he's...
And they haven't been intimate in 6
years. Hey.
But Charlie, a lot of marriages are like that, so especially the ones who are 30 years, 20 years, those things.
Oh,
please.
no. There's some people who...
I said a lot of I didn't say all marriages.
Or yours.
Yours is fine. It's thriving. 10 years and counting.
Maybe you
12
you also had the rapist in the marriage.
16 years.
There are lots
together,
of people
12 years
who
married.
are
12
doing,
years married.
who are just
Married.
coexisting.
Yeah.
Like they just come and see. You may think it is impossible, but it's very easy to achieve.
Wow.
I mean, when you start having a conversation, you just sleep, come sleep, come sleep,
Yeah,
come sleep. 1 year off. So come sleep, come sleep. It's possible. So this is what I think. You can't eat your cake and have it. You need to sit down and make your choices well and come clean somewhere. Now, you're saying that you don't want to leave your husband, but you're not able to also be intimate with him. I think you should take steps to rekindle that part of your marriage and make it work. But you guys should be deliberate about it, because what it is that you are saying you're not in love with the person that you're cheating on him with. If you're not in love, yet you enjoy the sex, you want to please both sides, it's not possible. It's not possible. And you see, for your age, 10 years in marriage, you're probably, I don't know what kind of age, but the guy wants to kind of see your parents, your family, meaning he's very serious about the whole situation. Okay. So this is what I think. You need to let your side guy or side man, I can't even call him a guy, he's a man, side man go. He needs to go and deliberately take steps in solving your marital problems, which is the lack of intimacy, lack of sex, or whatever it is. I mean, why doesn't he get turned on when it's you? Is it because you've exposed yourself too much to him? He's seen you several times over and over again not wearing clothes, so nothing really, excites him that much. Is it that you've left yourself, you're not keeping yourself in a certain kind of way that has his taste changed? Like, you need to have that conversation and then make a deliberate attempt to fix your marriage, because I don't think all is lost. He's not sick because he has an erectile dysfunction. He's sick, but he's not terminally sick. He can still function. So please, I think all is not lost. You should fix your marriage. And
what is she doing? But the guy is threatening to come see her.
I mean, so come clean with your husband, because do you know why? Because if you know that he gets an erection with other women, with others, then it means that you know of things that he has done. You know of his dark past. So it gives you the
leverage
to go and open up a conversation like that. If you didn't know anything like that, then it means that you are the first person to, and that will hurt him because you've gone out because of that. But if you know that he gets it with others, have a conversation with him and say that this is what I have done in the past and this is what I want to do. So I think you should have that conversation. It's between you and just ignore the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Livy.
Have you realized that every time there's a problem in a marriage and you're quick to find solutions outside of marriage, you rather complicate issues?
The situation, yeah.
True.
I really wish that you had held onto the love that you now feel for your husband, to the extent that you don't want to ruin and go in for this side guy. I wish that you had held on to that love to ask yourselves questions about how to make your marriage better, how to improve your sex life, what you could do. Have that conversation with him. You see, half the time we always sit here and we're like, have that conversation, have that conversation. You see, that's the only way forward. If you don't have the conversation, you can't solve the problem. Once the conversation is had, the problem is half solved. So, like Tina said, come clean. Because at the end of the day, it really breaks my heart. It breaks my heart so much, because sometimes I just wish that no matter how terrible the situation is within your marriage, you just go back and reflect and ask yourselves, remind yourselves about the vows you made, for better or for worse, in sickness or in health, richer or poorer. Because there's a reason, they could have decided anything could have been the vows. I mean, like, we came to meet the vows. Nowadays, you can come up with your own vows, but those are the bottom line vows. Because people have watched over the years and the trends have been the same, and they know that it's not an easy task. So that's why they put you in front of people and in front of God, in front of man, and you have to openly declare that should these things happen, I promise, because of the love I have for you, to stick with you. So within that time when the problem starts, I don't know why we forget. You see what I mean? I don't know why we forget. Why don't we try and solve the problem? That's why there's post-marriage counseling. That's why there's therapists out there. What else can you do to work on the problem that you both have, rather than go out of your marriage to look for solutions? What else can you do? So moving forward, come clean. If your husband does not have an erection, there's so many things that you could do. There's so many things you can introduce into diet. You can, when you're cooking, you could cook with a lot more black pepper. You could cook with some ginger. You could introduce some of the things that you cook with actually enhances erection for men.
But he doesn't have an erectile dysfunction.
Only when he's
It's
with
only
you.
when
I think you are digressing. This one is not.
No. Let me land.
Okay.
My thing is, assuming, sir, so
you have that.
there's certain things that you can introduce. I'm talking about
Like
the little
aphrodisiacs?
things that you could do to spice up your relationship, spice up your sex life, right?
Okay.
Like Tina said, about not exposing yourself too much, and I would always say this as well. Like Obadia also do a lot of people disagree with. A lot of people disagree with me, but like when you're taking a shower, you don't take a shower every day with your husband. No, you have to cover yourself, because you're going to be with him for the next 50, 60 years. He needs to see you and he needs to be aroused. He needs to be excited. You can wear sexy clothes at home. It's fine, but don't overly expose yourself, because then it doesn't get exciting. So once you do that, then you can introduce certain things into your diets when you're cooking as well. All of these things sort of stimulate them without them necessarily knowing. When they wake up and they have a hard-on, and they wake up and you're lying next to them and they have a hard-on, and then you do a few things here and there. Where is he? He has no choice but to stick it inside of you. Do you see what I mean? But all I'm saying is that there are little things that you could do to actually spice up your marriage. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so she
But
should
you-
look into it.
Yes, so basically
But
look
definitely
into
come
it.
clean to
If
her
it has
husband.
to also do with maybe what you look like, maybe you're not fit, you don't fix your hair, you don't smell nice, you don't. So look into the whole thing and see how you can sort it out, and have that conversation with him. Ask him, my dear, I've been with you for 6 years. The day I said I do, I really meant it. I really want this to work. I don't want to go outside. I want to be satisfied by you. What can I do to please you? Take him out. Go the extra mile.
Right.
Something to make it work.
All right. Rosie.
Okay. So, when it comes to marriage, the gentleman is not having an erectile problem. It has nothing to do with what you are wearing or not wearing. It has everything to do with the man is no more interested in you, period. When somebody doesn't like you, you do anything, jump, do all the
Cook diamond
skirmishes.
jollof.
Yes.
With Ghana
So,
rice.
yeah, you can do anything. Cook, clean, wear the nicest of Charlie. There's
Monkey
nothing that
styles.
would. It's the same thing for women too. When a woman doesn't like you, you do everything. Charlie, the body just won't react. Period. He would have an early morning erection. He would rather turn it down with soap than to have you attempt to do that for him. All I'm trying to say is that the problem is something that she is not telling us. Before a man, you see, the thing is that marriage is a serious thing. Nobody gets up overnight and decides to get married. You get married because of one or two things. The fact that they were sexually active for a period of 4 years means that it's not impossible. But I'm sure that within that 4 years, like the woman rightly said, they've had issues. They've had issues that have not been addressed. Right now, they are just not divorcing because they don't want people to see that they are apart.
Yeah.
But both of them are just not there. So it has nothing to do with what you are doing. So until both of them decide to work on those issues that they are not telling us, or
Right.
she is not telling us in this message. And those issues may be issues of maybe an ex, it may be issues of something that the guy has been doing or the lady has been doing or constantly cheating. They've been talking about the woman too constantly disrespecting him on so many levels. That causes him to even go and cheat more, and that also causes the woman to be more disrespectful. I mean, there are so many things that could happen underneath that we don't know. So both of them have checked out. So this is not an issue about eating well or getting the right spices or getting the right aphrodisiacs. This one, there's no possibility because he functions with other women.
Right.
If he doesn't function with other women, then there's a possibility
problem,
of eat right and all those things to enhance. But once he's functioning elsewhere, there's no problem. Because I don't think those people that he goes to, the side chicks, they have time to even cook those aphrodisiacs just for him to drink before he does the mojo. Nobody has time.
Natural.
No side chick has time to do that for a man who is already married. You can do it for your boyfriend, but not for a man. A man who is already married, he's coming with his this thing. You should go through the process of now preparing his this thing.
They want the quick, easy ones.
I'm telling you, so it has no issue to it. Has nothing to do with that. The bottom line is that there are issues that started, that were probably there before the marriage. And when the marriage started, those issues have still been there. And at some point, both of them just decided to get to hell with it. Now, you've also gotten into that thing. Okay, fine, he's cheating. Me too, maybe.
I'm going to cheat.
Then you've also gotten a side guy. But because you are not a chronic cheat, you were not cheating with guys. You ended up cheating with one person. And you probably now gave it your all.
Right.
So when the thing was not happening in your mind, you were not even concerned because you were having your thing outside. Now that person says that they've fallen in love with you and they want to marry you. Now you suddenly remembered that the husband that you married had some good sides you don't want to let go. So now the love that you felt for your husband, maybe at the point of getting married, you are suddenly now feeling it. And it happens. Sometimes when you get to that point where you're about losing what you have, you suddenly remember why
all the things
you actually had that in the
Yeah.
first place. So that's what you are going through. Now this other man who claims that if you don't leave your husband, he'll come and tell your husband everything's going to destroy your home. This man doesn't love you.
He's selfish.
He's selfish. Yeah. You see, he can implore on your emotions that, baby, I love you, I wish you were mine. Bring you to make your own decision that I want to leave my marriage and be with you. But for a man who would force you to leave your marriage and give and blackmail you because he has what it takes to bring it to zero, that man doesn't love you. So this is what you do. As far as I'm concerned, that side man, look, the fact that you were cheating with your husband for 6 years or how many years with this man, whilst you were married, when you get married to that man, any move you do will be suspicious.
Yes,
Yeah.
true. He'll
So
never trust you.
You will never
Yeah.
trust
Never.
you. So you will never have the kind of marriage you think that you're going to have when you get there. So this is the game plan. If you suddenly remember why you fell in love with this man, that's the tangentry you need to go. Go back to the basics. Why we fell in love. Do you remember when I used to be this, when you used to be that? It's not spices. It is not food. Get to his emotions. Get to his mental, his thinking. Take him back to 10 years ago. Take him back to what brought both of you together. Why the two of you decided to get married. Then maybe you may decide to work on it. Then in that process, let him know that maybe the things that you were doing to me, they hurt me so bad. And I've also made my mistakes. And there's this mistake that's been haunting me. I'm not telling you now because of anything, but I'm telling us I need to come clean. I want us to start from afresh. Then you do your own confession. Now, when you do your own confession, that other side boo doesn't have anything over you.
Yeah.
So you
By
do
the
your
time
own
he gets
confession. The man will also come up with his confession. I've seen it work before, where things were going so bad to the point of almost getting lost. Giddy, 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 giddy. Then one party decides to bring them back to where they started. And then confessions started happening, and there was a lot of revelations, a lot of hurt, a lot of healing, and now they are together as if nothing ever happened. So it's almost like that period that they were having all that turbulence, all of them have worked through the process, and all of them just look back at that process and laugh at that period in their lives.
Right.
So it's possible to achieve. So as for this one, I think it's a mental, emotional exercise. It is not physical. And it's not medical. Yes, and mental, emotional. So
Okay, a couple of your comments. Akosia says, Madam, sorry to say this, but are you serious at all? It seems you don't know what you want. This thing is even making me mad. You have got what you wanted. What advice do you need again? Dorcas says, I think your husband was not hard around you because he had become used to your way of dressing. Not dressing as a wife, but a mother. You have been naughty, but what is done. Confess to your husband and apologize. Think of other ways to get him attracted to you. And as for that opportunist with so much vigor, dog him, flee. Dora says, that's childish behavior. Why would you allow yourself to be used by someone you don't love? And secondly, why should you still be with your husband and cheat on him? The best solution is divorce your husband, move from the area so that your new boyfriend too will not get hold of you. You need time to heal yourself from all this drama. Lauren says, in fact, this is big advice for we the men. A man can do everything for a wife, but let something go wrong with your health, job, or his sex organ, and see, a woman will forget what both of you share together. The only advice I can give her is leave the marriage because she doesn't love her husband. Divine says, this is too bad, dear. For a married woman, you should never have sex with another man apart from your husband. And that's what the Bible says.
already know that.
Sorry
Yeah,
to say
dildo.
this. But come to think of it, didn't you go for counseling before getting married? Or you didn't get the for better for worse clear? That's a big mistake you made, but better still, let your husband know and apologize to him. If he forgives you, fine. If he doesn't, then that's it. John says, what are the marriage vows for ladies and gentlemen of today's world? For better, for worse, right? Madam, you misplaced your priority over just 10, 15, 20, or at least 30 minutes pleasure. 10 good years of marriage. Sorry, you've lost the battle. Just do the needful and start filing for your divorce because that guy will not let you rest. And finally, Nadia says, why is almost everyone blaming the lady? Is she not human? Doesn't blood flow through her veins? Doesn't she have feelings? Please, let's stop these hypocritical things and we say and do here. Those asking if she has forgotten her marriage vows for better or worse, why not ask the man if he's also forgotten? Or is it only women that marriage vows apply to? The man not getting a hard-on with or around the wife is not a visa for him to be going round. From the message, he gets a hard-on with other
others.
women. Yeah, so those are some of your comments. We'll go for a commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's Sister on Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM. Your comments are welcome. 054-998-6996. Dede from Malam says, I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend for almost 2 years. He's told me on 2 occasions that he wants to buy me a promise ring. But the thing is, after a critical analysis of it, I think it's not needed because after our wedding, the promise ring will be of no use. I'm somehow scared to tell him not to buy it because he might think I'm cheating. That's why I don't want him to buy it. I need your advice.
Okay. I don't think it's a big deal. Most of the time, some men just look at the trends their friends do and all that, and they just want to sort of make their intentions known that, oh, I'm there for you, I'm going to be here for you. But if he says he will buy it, let him buy it. I mean, it's really nothing. If it's going to take a toll on your finances, though, is what maybe you should discuss. But if it's of no consequence to you, this is something that will not matter in the next 6 months. So I don't see why it should be a big deal. You understand? Because you have the what promise ring. You have the engagement, like the engagement is the proposal ring, no?
No,
I don't know.
in Ghana, the engagement ring is after the traditional.
No,
marriage.
so I'm talking
But
about the one that he
yeah.
wants.
That's
He's
usually the
proposed.
engagement
That's
ring.
usually
Yeah.
the engagement
Yes,
ring.
Yeah.
so that the proposal
usual.
one,
Yeah.
and then traditional marriage, and then the wedding band itself.
But the wedding band can be used, the traditional marriage, because it's a marriage. That ring that is given at the traditional marriage
If you are
can still be
stopping
used.
if you are stopping,
You don't need a different one for the wedding. You can use the same band for the marriage.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. So I mean, for me, I didn't get a promise ring, but I got like a proposal
engagement,
ring.
okay.
That's the engagement ring, and then I got the traditional in there. But I can't wear all
So wait, so you got 3.
3.
Hey,
So where are they?
You'll be
How
hard
many are you
though.
wearing now?
I'm wearing 2.
So where's the other one?
It's there.
Will you ever wear it?
I probably now I feel uncomfortable because of my situation, but I probably will wear it when I
time.
like because
Have you considered wearing it on, like, say, another hand?
another hand.
Okay.
So you have how many rings on your hand? It
Let's
all
not talk
means
about my ring.
it all,
6.
it all means different things, and
I
you're
just
okay.
like jewelry.
And you're okay with it.
Yeah.
So I will probably wear mine when I feel less
On your
stressed.
toes.
So, lady, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
This
If he
one,
wants to buy it, then buy it.
it won't matter in the next 6 months. I promise you. So,
Yeah. So, as much as it's not a big deal, my thing is, for somebody that you're about to marry, I don't see why. I don't know. This is just me. I could be wrong, but you should be able to talk to him about it. Find out exactly how he feels. Because if you can't open up to him, because right now you're sitting there and you're wondering, say, oh, if you tell him, maybe it will make him feel like this, or you don't want him to feel as though. What did she say? She doesn't want to make him feel as
Like
though maybe
he's cheating-
she's
she's
cheating on you. But that's not the case. I think you should be open about how you feel and then ask him, tell him that, oh, I would really appreciate it. Like, I don't mind you buying it for me, but I think that because we're going to get married very soon, I don't want you to feel as though I'm going to cheat on you or anything. But rather than invest a lot of money into a promise ring, I think the most ideal thing will be, I don't mind the wedding ring and then the ring itself.
Right.
And that's an open conversation. And then if he's still insisting, then you know, oh, he's probably coming from a good
Insisting.
space. He wants to show you really how much he loves you. Then you can move on from there. But by all means, don't be quick to assume for your partner. It's a conversation. Have it. Get it over with. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen? I've seen aunties who are very scared to even tell their husband something. They'll come and they'll complain. And then when they see their husbands, they can't
Say
talk to
anything.
their husbands about something they're uncomfortable about. So, but this is the time. Be open. Talk about your feelings and get it out there. Don't use other people. If you're uncomfortable about something, to talk about. If you're unsure, ask the person. Because, I mean, you're going to lie on the same bed with them. Why not ask them?
Right.
Okay, so are they planning to get married?
Sounds like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, now my thing is that sometimes the promise ring is a trap.
nail you down.
I've seen people who have worn promise rings for 6 years, 7 years.
They are called, they are called Lord of the Rings.
They are wearing promise rings. And sometimes, yes, sometimes why give me a promise ring when you are planning to get married? It doesn't make sense, really. Because the thing is that, you see, we put a lot of emphasis on rings. Like, for instance, to see whether somebody is married or not. Even someone is married and the person, for even health grounds, doesn't wear a ring.
Yeah.
People go like, I need to own share.
Exactly.
Why are you not wearing it? Oh, you should wear, okay, go and make it bigger. Or maybe get this particular stone. It's like we put a lot of emphasis on a ring. So once you wear a ring, it means that technically you told everybody to back off.
Yeah.
That's the symbol. And then if you have a man who's giving you a promise ring, and the promise ring usually is between the man and the woman. No family commitments, no family representations. So this guy can give a promise ring to 2 or 3 people on the blind side of the family for all he cares. So most of the time, for me personally, I think the promise ring is a trap. Once we decide...
I've never thought of it like that, actually.
I mean, because once you wear the promise ring, I mean, people go ask you, oh, are you married?
Are you engaged?
Oh, no. Are you engaged? Oh, no. My boyfriend promised me this one. I mean, normally the promise ring, if you want to give me a promise ring, it means that maybe if we already have a date. We have the thing planned, but you just want to make me feel special. So you give me that promise ring, say in the next 3-4 months, the thing is going to happen because the ground has already been laid. And they may share, I'll flaunt it for 4 months, and after 4 months, I'll get the real deal.
Let's not get it twisted. The promise ring is different from the proposal ring. What you are talking about is the proposal ring. The proposal one is that we are going to get married in a few months. I'm asking for your baby, will you marry me? I mean, like, and that one is more public. It's not just between the two of you.
Oh, but some people do it between the two of them.
Yeah, some people do, but when you come out,
that whether proposal ring or promise ring, the one that doesn't have the buy-in of the families, it can be a trap. Because if somebody proposes to you and you're not living with the person and you are not married to the person, when something happens, you are not qualified to call yourself a spouse. You understand? And sometimes after the promise ring, most ladies now feel comfortable to move into the man's house. And that is when they'll move into the man's house, they'll play the part, do everything, and the man will never be pushed to do the real thing. So all I'm saying is that sometimes, personally for me, I think I'm along the girls' thinking. If you gave me a promise ring, I'll probably ask you that, oh, you want us to get married? I mean, let's discuss when, the modalities and everything. I'll probably say, okay, don't waste money on a promise ring. Let's just wait. When it happens, it happens.
So you would say that?
I would say that easily. Easily. I should be able to tell. And the thing is that, like Olivia said, once you are going to get married, you should be able to talk about anything and everything, especially in the dating phase, before you actually lock yourselves down.
Yeah.
So if at this stage, you can't even tell your man that, oh, the promise ring is probably not important now, or for me, it's not a game changer for me. Let's just hold on for the real thing. The question is that when you are married and the man is spending on something that you think is not okay for the home, how can you open your mouth and say it? You can't say it. So like Olivia said, communication is key. It's important. But personally, I would not, I'm not crazy about promise rings. When I hear someone say, I have a promise ring, okay, it doesn't mean anything. Because I've seen people wear promise rings and then remove the promise ring and marry somebody else.
You know
but
what?
I think the environment too makes it different. Like the settings make it different. If you were in, I don't know, a brochure, you take the promise ring seriously. But like depending on, because then they would propose just between me and you.
But even
and then,
this same Abroche are saying they can get engaged, just me and you. And here, I put a ring on your finger. Hey, we're engaged.
Exactly.
You know, Ghana, does that happen?
In Ghana, it doesn't happen. In Ghana, it's much more official. So it depends on exactly where you find and the understanding between the couple. But we're in Ghana. That's true.
So but the understanding within the couple is that
it's much more important.
It's more important. But then again, the understanding between the couple. The thing is, you see, everywhere around the world, even at Brochirimpuno, people promise, but you see, until it is done, it is not done.
It's not done. Let's just spend 1 minute each, maybe, on this. At the end of the message, this is something that jumps out at me, and I don't know if any of you caught it. It says, "I'm somehow scared to tell him not to buy it because he might think I'm cheating. That's why I don't want to." Isn't that a bit weird? Like, how does that even add up?
So
I think that's probably
okay.
Sorry.
Your 1 minute.
I think that's probably because they've had a certain conversation whereby the guy wants to stamp his authority on her. Like,
Period.
you know, something to nail her down, to say you are mine. So this is my bond with you. But like Rosie is also saying, it doesn't hold water because it's between me and you. You could be wasting my time. You could have given 3-4 girls promise rings, and it still doesn't matter.
So along the same lines, most of the time, the guys see that there are a lot of potential men around you.
Yeah.
You understand? You are not any material, or you are marriage material.
Right.
You are not anybody he can joke around with.
So he wants to.
But he's not ready.
He's buying time.
He's not ready to. But if he doesn't make fast, somebody would, cross him. So for him to get you to himself and commit fully and let every guy around you know that he is the don.
Deal.
He will give you that promise ring to buy him time to get ready to marry you. So I think the guy's insecurity in the past has made her feel that, hey, if I try to ward him off getting me a promise ring, he will think that there are other men who have been proposing to me that I like and I've been entertaining. So I don't want him to think that. But I also think that the promise ring is not necessary. So
yes, so I side more with Tina.
Trap matter.
Yeah, so I side more. That's what I'm saying. It's a trap. So he sees that you have a lot of potential around you. You may have even told him a few occasions that, hey, can you imagine this guy up by say? And when you look at the guy who is coming, and the girl says she doesn't like that guy, but he likes you, you feel like, hey, that guy is more distant than you. So you need to do something fast to hold her down. But the thing is that, you see, if you need to take such drastic measures to hold the person down, then
why don't you? You might as well do it.
Then,
right?
not even that. Then it means that person is. You see, relationships say I should be so comfortable when I'm in a relationship with you, and I'm somewhere, you're also somewhere. My mind should not be wondering what is she doing, who is talking to her, who is she accepting. So once you're in that space of insecurity, it means that relationship is not even meant for you.
Right.
You should be in a relationship that's comfortable for you. So if this guy needs to put a ring on your finger in order to ward off other people, it's a serious thing. This is a guy with so many insecurities. When you get married, who you talk to, where you go, what you do, this is somebody who you can get married to and you say, I don't want you to work.
Anyway, let's end it here. We're out of time. Unfortunately, ladies, I'm sorry about that. But we'll be back with another exciting edition of Sister Sister on your favorite Citi FM and Citi TV as well. Don't forget, like our Facebook page at Sister Sister Live. Join our growing community. Engage with us when we put out questions. And let's keep the family alive. Thank you, Tina, Olivia, Rosina, for coming through once again.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, Christmas is coming. Y'all be safe.
But New Year's come.